So you from the area?
We're actually looking for a home in Potomac, Maryland. So.
You don't have a home?
I have 4 homes.
Yeah, Gizelle's a mean girl.
Yeah, you know, at the reunion, Karen called Gizelle everything except a liar, but she is everything including a liar.
All right, we're back with season 2 of Real Housewives of Potomac. Yes. I will again be leading the discussion, and let's just get right into it.
It's all yours.
All right.
Actually, I want to say something before we start the season. Not my favorite. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Oh my God, shut up. All right, so we're starting out this season, coming off of season 1.
Yes.
And I guess there's no real need to do a cast assessment because the cast isn't that different, except for they swapped out Katie and subbed in Monique.
Sad.
So we're just going to jump right into the first real storyline that they start us out with, which is Charisse versus Gizelle and whether or not there was a fireman.
What you said was up, Gizelle.
In your opinion,
it was
what you said was up about me.
I don't do crazy because your ass will never own. Yes, you're crazy.
Okay,
you are crazy. You're crazy.
I'm done.
You're crazy.
I'm done.
Have a good night. Bye, bitch. She want to talk about I called her a whore. I called her a whore. I did not call her a whore. This is my real life. This is not some play That was up. And you cannot say that there's anything justifiable that I said or did that would warrant that.
So what were your thoughts on their issues? Do you think Gizelle went too far with implying that Charisse was cheating on her husband? What are some of your thoughts?
Most of my thoughts this season about Gizelle will be negative, to say the least. I said in season 1 that she's cringe in confessionals. This season, she was still cringe in confessionals, but also just super obnoxious in everything else. And this was the first occasion of her being obnoxious this season with this Charisse drama. Yes, she went too far.
Counterpoint, do you think that it was justified considering that Charisse implied that Gizelle was a hoe? / is Gizelle a hoe?
See,
from what we see on
From
TV.
what we see on TV, I don't want to call her a hoe. I don't want to be that person.
We're going to say she's a hoe insofar as does she have sex with people she's dating, which isn't a hoe at all, but by these women's standards, a hoe.
She does a lot of dating.
And I will say that, I'm going to tap in here, she does a lot of dating and she makes a lot of like sex jokes in the way of like, she seems sex positive and she seems like a relationship where sex isn't happening, you know.
Yeah, but then she tries to do every season, she tries to pull it back and be like, oh, we're moving so slow. But I don't think that's true. No. So she does fuck all these men. But is she a hoe? I mean, that I guess is your all's determination out there.
Yeah, right.
But she dates a lot and she can't find another man.
And so do you think that because of that, she's justified to put Charisse on blast and say that Charisse is out here sleeping with these firemen?
No.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really care.
Me either.
I don't really care who's right or wrong in this. And to be honest, I don't really care if Charisse is sleeping with the fireman or not, because I feel like Eddie probably has his side piece.
Oh, for sure.
They're effectively divorced. It's probably just cheaper financially for them to stay married. So I think the nuances of whether or not they're legally separated or not doesn't seem to matter. So like, Charisse, if you out here sleeping with that fireman, girl, live your best life, you know? I feel like the only way a confession of her dating someone would hurt her is if they do get a divorce and he uses that to justify not paying her alimony or something. So truly a piss poor way to start the season. 2 people that we just don't give a shit about.
Yeah,
but
that's why maybe this season was a struggle for me.
Yeah, so nonetheless, that is how we started off. It kind of seems like they reach an impasse, and by the end, who cares?
They're getting along again.
They're on the same side of the couch come reunion time, so I guess that means they're allied in some capacity. Moving on, we have an introduction of a new player. That is Monique Samuels.
Our goal number for kids is 4.
Think about this, baby.
So we I said, all right, we can maybe do 4. But these Samuels babies ain't no joke, man.
You know, we big boned it. Baby's big boned it.
You ain't had damn big as mine.
Ooh.
I don't want to have them as big as you have. Trust me.
Mine from
I have mixed feelings on Monique. A, she's not a good enough replacement for Katie for me. B, I like that she's vocal. Maybe a little too vocal. She talks a lot, maybe too much. By the end of the season, though, I kind of agreed with some of the other women about her.
In what way?
In that she does like to talk about the things that her husband provides for her.
Okay.
Too much.
All right, well, I guess I'll give my analysis.
Yes.
I think she is a satisfactory replacement for Robin. I think
For
that...
Robin.
Oh my god!
I wish we
Freudian
were
slip.
replacing
Yeah,
Robin.
we need Robin out of here.
Yeah.
Snooze fest, you gotta go. I think she's a satisfactory replacement for Katie because I think that she brings the same element of attention, right? Like the way that Katie was able to keep our attention storyline wise is about comparable to
I
Monique.
disagree.
I mean, did you really give it that much of a shit about Katie and Andrew's relationship?
It was more entertaining.
I think Monique and Chris have a pretty entertaining dynamic, especially with the beef with their mom.
Yeah.
Or the mom/mom-in-law. And then I think Monique holds her own very well among this group of women, and I really like that. I actually think she does it a little better than Katie. We really didn't see Katie stand up for herself until the end when Gizelle had finally pushed her
But when
over.
she did the last few episodes of season 1, she was way more vicious than Monique.
I think Monique has given us a nice, consistent, storyline among
She's
the women.
consistently mediocre, I agree.
Well, I think they both average out to be about the same.
I'm just going to disagree. We're going to have to agree to disagree.
I think Katie
I
was
much prefer Katie.
dull enough at the beginning and good enough at the end that she meets Monique at being consistently... I'm intrigued in the storyline. I feel like Monique came in season 1 and still gave us a good story, even if it was with the beef with the women.
You are friends with
Charisse.
With Charisse?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got here before your friend.
Yeah.
Ain't that nice?
Yeah.
Ain't that some proper?
She actually invited
properness?
me to.
I invited her.
Oh, you did?
Monique and I spent a little bit of time together at Pure Bar the other day.
Oh, nice.
Whenever there are new people that come into our circle, Gizelle feels it is her responsibility to haze them.
So you from the area?
We're actually looking for a home in Potomac, Maryland.
You don't have a home?
I have 4 homes.
Okay.
I ain't mad with you. Just run down the real estate information.
You go, girl. She got that shade really quickly.
Monique is fine. I just wish she was replacing Robin or Charisse.
Clearly, so do I. I guess we can start with the first fight that Monique has. Well, maybe we can go more into her introduction to the group, which is at the high tea. I don't really know why these women are trying to put on airs and having high teas. Like, what is even the context for this? But that is when Monique is introduced to the group. I guess it's really supposed to be a kumbaya moment for Charisse and Gizelle, but who gives a shit about that fight?
Yeah, agreed.
So what were some of your thoughts about that whole interaction? I guess you said you thought Monique likes to brag about her stuff, and this was kind of the first
but
example.
at that point, I didn't agree. At that point, Gizelle was being a hater because she's jealous, just like she was jealous of Ashley in season 1.
Yeah, Giselle's a mean girl. Knowing that, I think there was an example or a story of her and one of her sorority sisters, and the sorority sister was like, yeah, Gizelle was a huge fucking bitch until she wasn't. I was like, oh, well, that explains it. Like, she's been a bitch since college, and I feel like she's probably one of those people that, like, peaked in college.
She must have been.
And so she just is stuck in that place mentally, and that's why she hasn't been able to evolve. But knowing that Gizelle was like a mean, hazer, bully sorority sister really colors the interaction between her and Monique.
Are you going to get into her antics at this thing?
Where she asked Monique to drop a 16 bar and then was like, this ghetto, you ghetto hood rat, dropping raps at high tea?
Yeah, at the reunion, Karen called Giselle everything except a liar, but she is everything including a liar because she kept lying and saying, I didn't do that.
I never did that.
But she did.
Yeah.
There was something else she did too.
Well, she definitely prodded Monique about not having a home.
Yes, and that's what made her say I have 5 houses.
Yeah. Well, at the time she had 4.
Yeah, 4.
Because Giselle was like, so you don't have a home. And then Monique was like, I have 4 homes.
Exactly. So Giselle was the problem again.
Yeah. But then like they kind of used that to color Monique as being a yapper who just brags about what she has.
So me and Ashley were chatting. And she was telling me that somebody had a problem with me talking about my husband and I having more than one home.
I made mention. It was like, I didn't have a problem with it. It was just like the third thing that you said out your mouth. Hi, my name is Monique and I have 4 houses.
No, that wasn't how it went.
Since we've been here, you have told us about the $250 bottle of wine. You told us about Barack
Well, let's
Obama
go back
and your
to
best
the
friend.
Willard. You asked the question and said, are you looking to become homeowner?
I didn't ask you that. I said,
Yes,
where
you
do you
did.
live?
Yes,
And you said, I have 4 homes.
I did not say that because, first of all, that's not me. I don't just come out and say, yeah, I own 4 homes.
I just want to know about
you. Asked me, are you looking to become a homeowner? And I answered your question.
I feel like Monique is one of those people where there's a lot production must have cut out. Because, like, everyone's like, oh, Monique talks so much. And it's like, I feel like she talks an appropriate amount for what the conversation warrants. So they must have, like, cut out the scenes where she's just being unbearable.
Maybe.
I guess the conclusion for you is that Monique is a braggart.
Well, no, in that fight, I'm on Monique's side over Giselle. Other than the very first start of season 1 when Gizelle and Charisse had a fight when the whole crap situation. That's the only time to take Giselle's side. Every other time Giselle's been in a fight, she's been in the wrong, in my opinion, because I don't know if it's because she wants to, like, be the antagonist for TV or what, but either way, she's usually in the wrong.
So then we can just keep going with this whole Gizelle versus Monique storyline. Let's really just finish this out. So the next big escalation between them is at Monique's house when she has everyone over to play spades, I believe. And basically you have Gizelle in a cape and 90 degrees standing in the kitchen where there's central air being a cunt with her friend.
Yeah.
Cal, who she just needs to stop bringing around.
Yeah, because he can't do hair either, so I don't know why he's there.
He show can't. All he's there for is the drama, and I feel bad because I feel like Cal was actually really enjoying himself. If you notice, like Gizelle kept trying to shit on the experience, and he was like, I don't know, the macaroni and cheese was kind of fire. This house is kind of nice. I think her weave actually looks really good, but you're my friend, so I gotta like.
Yeah.
I can't take the gossip.
You're looking out. Okay, good. Because I didn't want to have any of this conversation in front of Miss I Can't Stop Talking. So...
Monique.
She was just talking about you. It's like, I was waiting till Miss I Can't Stop Talking leaves the room.
Let me go back in here for a second. We might need a pastor.
Because, you know, I don't want rumors out there about Robin. No, it's not cool. And here comes the talker.
I can't stop talking, right? Miss, I can't stop talking?
Yeah, I was just trying to talk to Ashley.
This is my house. I can stand wherever I want to stand. I can talk as much as I want. Don't be disrespectful in my home.
I'm not.
You are.
You're being a little aggressive.
I'm not being a little aggressive. You're being very disrespectful.
The only thing that keeps my mind sane is the fact that my pastor is on the way. I'm trying to keep my Jesus, because you one step away from getting your face punched in.
Was I talking, Ashley, or was I standing there eating my food?
Miss Karen, where you going, girl? Come on in. Girl, I'm having a good day with Ray.
Come on, girl, we're all
If you felt offended, I apologize. But I just was wanting to finish talking to Ashley.
Whatever. I ain't got time for that.
You're proving my very point. You're talking too much and you don't know when to shut the hell up. I don't care, Monique. I'm trying to hear what little Miss Ashley has to say.
Whatever your issue is with me, you can just put it out there.
I don't
Seriously.
have an issue, Monique.
You obviously do. Every time I come around, you're acting real cold-shouldered.
Monique, I can't.
You walk in the house and your best friend gives me a hug. You just stand there.
I said hi.
With your coat on in 90 degrees.
What more did you want me to do?
What you're not going to do is be uncomfortable in your own home.
Oh, no. That's why I'm standing here. I'll keep talking. Mrs. I Can't Stop Talking. You don't act like you want to be here anyway, so just leave.
So what did you think about that whole interaction?
Once again, Giselle was in the wrong.
You don't think people just go to people's houses and talk shit?
No! Who?
Giselle, clearly.
Have some decorum. Isn't that's what the show's supposed to be? Is having decorum in class? Gizelle ain't got shit of that.
Yeah, and then my favorite line of the season is when Gizelle slips in front of Monique's assistant and is like, oh, here goes Miss, running her mouth. And then it gets back to Monique, and Chris is like, tell her she need to roll out. So Gizelle gets kicked out of yet another party, which I feel like, you get kicked out of one, maybe it's unfortunate, but you're kicked out of 2 parties now. At some point, you are the problem. Yeah. You and Cal are the problem.
Exactly. The evidence is starting to mount.
Yeah. And so, I mean, did you think she was justified getting kicked out? Do you think? I would have kicked her out sooner. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Yeah, she clearly didn't want to be there. She clearly was there just to talk shit. And I can't disagree with Monique in that situation. Yeah. Especially if her husband's doubling down.
All right. And so I guess while we're on the topic of just Monique in general, there's another storyline that happens with her. See, we already are talking about Monique in 3 major fights now.
So they're all with Gizelle.
True, but she's, shit, you could say the same about Katie.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was Gizelle versus everybody, truly, because she's as contrived as hell. Yeah. But getting into more the personal dynamics with Monique, with her husband and her mother-in-law. So basically, they go down to Alabama because Chris gets inducted into the Alabama Hall of Fame. And there's this dinner that happens, and that's when all hell breaks loose, and we see Monique versus Grandma.
But with this house, though, we're there to hold everybody down, though.
Yeah, you had to get a job.
No, I don't.
You had to get a job.
No, I don't.
Why we need a job?
He did so good with the way Chris is so frugal.
We good.
We good for the rest of the 100 years to come.
You need to hook me up or something.
I need to get a job. I'm wifey. Wifey ain't gonna get no job. We're good.
She called Monique a heifer. She told Monique she needed to get a job. She also said that she hasn't had sex in 40 years. And she basically said that a marriage is meant for you to struggle and suffer and let him cheat on you, I think was kind of her whole plight.
I think old people are just a little
shitty.
Yeah.
I'm Team Aspen over here. I don't like old people, so.
Yeah, I kind of a bootleg Mama Joyce.
That might be
too harsh.
That might be doing a little much. Yeah, I didn't hate her. I
mean, I don't hate her either, but that she kind of got this. That was her only storyline in one episode.
Yeah, I guess. Why do you think she hates Monique? Do you think Monique's a gold digging asshole?
No. Do you?
Why not? Because she's close in age with Chris. They're only 6 years apart.
Yeah.
So it's only you're only a gold digger if there's an age component?
Who's a gold digger?
Monique.
I'm not saying she is.
No, but I'm saying Ashley also gets the gold digger reputation.
Yeah, I don't think she is either.
I don't think Ashley is.
I think they both love their husbands, right?
And the money just helps.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like Monique gets a lot of flack for being married to Chris and therefore being entitled in some capacity to Chris's assets. And she clearly her mother-in-law feels some type of way about her. And Gizelle feels some type of way about it. So I guess I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I feel like all of the other women at some point always try and say that, oh, you're just living off your husband's money. But they all are.
They're all literally.
I guess except for Robin because they don't have any money.
Exactly, true.
She would be too if she could.
At some point, she was living off her husband's
Honestly,
money.
Robin's pretty ride or die. Still sticking with Juan.
Well, I think it's a forced ride for Juan. I don't think he wants to be on that carousel, but yeah, I think that going back to the original topic, I think it was nice to see Monique stand up to her mother-in-law because I feel like it's really easy to be like, oh, that's the mom, let me shut up and be respectful. And she still was, but nah, bitch, I'm wifey. I'm not getting a job. I had this man's kids. I clean the house. I manage our 17 properties, you know?
It's fair.
And it was just really in poor taste to see her mother-in-law acting that way, calling her a heifer. It's not that deep, you know? ma'am, you live in Alabama, okay? I'm sure Chris sends you a nice check to cover your lifestyle. Just shut the fuck up. It doesn't make no never mind.
Honestly, that's probably why she's so miserable. She lives in Alabama.
True. Yeah. Alabama's a terrible state.
Alabamans out there.
I can tell you right now, having been several times, 0 out of 10. But, you know, having a son who is a retired NFL player helps.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then, you know, I guess they didn't hear it, so they weren't able to address it. But it seems like Chris, you know, walks a pretty good balance between, like, that's my mom and I love her, but also, like, my wife is first, and I'm not going to let her disrespect my wife. Yeah. So I appreciate that. I don't think Monique is a gold digger in the sense of, like, she only got with Chris because he has money. But the money helps. And, like...
the money's always going to help.
Right. Like, nobody's ever going to complain. But I also don't think Monique brags as much as you seem to think she does. I feel like she's put in these situations where they be playing in her face. It's like, well, yeah, bitch, let me go manage my properties.
I mean, I guess. But maybe get a different comeback than, oh, my God, my husband has all these houses.
Well, you know what? I think we're just seeing for the first time ever in franchise history an actual housewife that has houses and manages properties because that's all she has to do as a wife is to manage her fucking kids and his properties.
Okay, fair enough.
I guess we as viewers hate to see it. Literally, right? We're like, oh my God, this actual housewife being a housewife. It's so boring.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so I think that about wraps up our first topic on Monique.